Recording probably.
Well, it's gonna get you.
Good evening, everybody. I'd like to call this regular meeting, of the Hinckley Township Board of Trustees, to order on Tuesday, November 7 at 6:30 p.m. Call the roll, please. Here.
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 I'd like to ask everybody to join us in honoring the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I will move to approve the minutes for the October 11, 2023 special trustee meeting. Second by Augustine. All in favor? Aye. Move to approve the minutes for the October 17, 2023 regular trustee meeting.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Move to approve the minutes for the October 27, 2023 special trustee meeting.
I have two changes. In the Google Drive discussion, towards the bottom, it says trustee Asherle, trustee Swedick stated that he feels this could be a good tool and that he's okay doing a test trial run. And then it says, for this, after Kimball opt-out process has been completed next week. I do not recall that being discussed. Just that we said that we would go ahead with the test run trial. So I would recommend omitting after the Kimball opt-out process has been completed next week.
Strike that.
Okay. And then the second page towards the bottom, when we're talking about the December 5th meeting, I would recommend adding in, we will still hold a regular meeting that night at 6:30. That's not included in that paragraph.
We were just discussing it. I don't think we made a final decision on it.
I thought we had decided to hold we were going to
An
do
abbreviated
an
meeting
abbreviated
during the
meeting,
day.
a special meeting at 9:30 in the morning. We said we were going to hold a special meeting that was going to be abbreviated at the school at 9:30 in the morning, that we could have all of our department heads kind of give an overall top line view of what they do. And then we would announce the winner of the Christmas decorated to the children, since they are going to be the ones voting for it. And then we said we would still hold our regular meeting that night at 6:30.
I actually have it on my agenda for tonight because I didn't think we made a final decision on it. I think we talked about doing both, but we didn't make a formal decision.
I was under the impression that's what we were doing. A short meeting during the day and the regular meeting at night.
And we can abstain from voting on these and go back and watch the recording if that's what we would prefer to do. And then we can still come to a decision tonight on it. We can rediscuss it, but I don't want to, if we're not in agreement with what was said, then it might be better if we abstain from approving these.
You want
Oh,
to state
withdraw
it
the-
was discussed to hold the regular meeting.
Okay.
In the evening additionally. I mean, these aren't a vote.
Right.
Right.
Is that basically what the conversation was?
Yes,
Okay, so I'll put it was discussed, hold a regular meeting,
you
a
got it.
regular time and place.
You got it.
Okay.
Move as amended.
Okay.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Martha.
Is there anybody in the Zoom that is trying to get in?
You want to talk about the new hire?
Martha, would you care if we do the new hire first before we go to you?
That's fine.
Okay,
I don't-
David?
Good evening. Request a motion to hire Stephen Mata as a full-time probationary patrol officer, starting pay class P1 of the union collective bargaining agreement. Mr. Mata's tentative start date is Monday, November 13th.
So moved.
Second.
Let's see, we need a roll call for this? No, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Swear in answer.
Any family that wants to come up and get a picture, you can come first. Although we're not very far away in this room.
Yeah, let's move out of the way.
Hold over, hold that problem.
Well,
There you go.
Repeat after me. I, Stephen A. Mata,
I, Stephen A. Mata,
do solemnly swear
solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
I'll support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
and will faithfully discharge my duties
and will faithfully discharge my duties
as an officer for the Police Department
as an officer of the Police Department
of Hinckley Township in Medina County, State of Ohio.
of Hinckley Township of the State of Ohio.
Congratulations on that.
Family, he's gonna go with the officers over to the PD. If you wanna go with them, they'll give you a tour of the building and kind of give you an idea of where.
They probably want to see this, Dave. Thanks for coming, everyone.
Thank you.
Very comfortable in here, isn't it? Just cozy. It is warm. What's the thermostat touch set at?
Yes, it will.
Never mind.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Congratulations.
He has a pretty good fan club.
Yeah. Now you can sit, guys.
Fiscal Officer Catherwood.
I have nothing, except those, green allocations I had.
Okay. All right. So I will move to adopt resolution number 110723-01, reallocating $6,000 from 2031-760-740-0000 machinery, equipment, and furniture to 2031-330-351-000 electricity, and $2,000 from 2181-130-150-0000 compensation of Board of Commission and Commission members to 2181-130-319-0000 other professional and technical services.
Second.
Seconded by Asherle. All in favor?
Roll call.
Aye.
Roll call.
Yeah, and just to inform the board that, the first one is due to higher electrical costs out of Road and Bridge because of the additional subdivisions that we've added on as far as lighting, and then the second one is to, deduct money from board and commission zoning fees and game numbers and to pay for, Tommy Blatney and Judy, et cetera.
I'm sorry, call the roll in.
Sweattick?
Yes.
Asherle?
Yes.
Augustine?
Yes.
I will move to pay the bills in the amount of $298,642.19.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Chief Senator.
Nothing else.
Nothing else. Service,
I live right here.
okay,
I only have one thing, request for appropriations for replacement tires for truck number 26 through North Gateway at a cost of $1,789.60.
so moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. If you'd care to depart, you're welcome.
I've got two really quick things while Mike's here. One was the cemetery. You guys see the request for appropriations to purchase the Magnatrack 200 series magnetic locator through Amazon Prime at a cost of $599, replacing the broken metal detectors, and anything you want to add to that?
It just hasn't in place.
Okay. That's my motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And the second thing real quick is the conversation about the subdivisions and cul-de-sacs. And Mike, I just wanted to get your opinion on this. It's under zoning. It's my second agenda item. We have two different types of language. On March 3rd, 2020, we amended our cul-de-sac language that center islands within township road right-of-ways are forbidden. This was are forbidden in permanent cul-de-sacs unless permitted by motion of the trustees. Forbidden. In our new April 18th, 2023 subdivision standards, it says that center islands with proper drainage are required in permanent cul-de-sacs when a homeowners association accepts maintenance. So we've got two different languages. And I just want to make sure we're all on the same page moving forward, because we've got another cul-de-sac coming up in Hollow at Willow Lake. And they want to know if they have to put in a cul-de-sac or not. And if we are going to move forward with the subdivision standards from April 18th, 2023, we really should rescind the March 3rd, 2022 motion, which says that cul-de-sacs, the center islands are forbidden permanent cul-de-sacs. And this one says they're required.
Didn't the board approve the current subdivision standard?
They did,
Which replaces the other.
but we never rescinded this motion. So
I thought you made the motion. I have to go back in the minutes, but I recall that the other was superseded. I thought the word superseded were used, and I'd have to verify that
okay,
for the board.
okay,
But once again, to your point, the board needs to decide what they wanted to say.
yeah,
But
yeah.
my recollection is that all former subdivision standards were superseded by the motion of that one, because you can only have one.
Well, we beat that up pretty good. I'm pretty sure we're on board with the latest version.
And you had said that you prefer to cul-de-sac
We do.
For the islands, yeah.
or
And the
not, it's in the cul-de-sac, okay. I don't see anything about supersede, but I'll reread it. Thank you, that's all I needed to do.
Yeah, because you can't have two.
Right, it's conflicting for the zoning department. That's it.
Monique, can I interrupt you for 1 second? Judy wants to know, is the meeting being recorded? Or should Judy record it also?
It should be recorded. We hit record to the cloud. Can she
Okay.
hear it?
Yeah, she can hear it and she can do it.
Okay.
Theoretically.
The very important word there.
Chief Grossenbaugh.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Request appropriations for $1,570 for the excavation tool preventive maintenance through House Systems.
So moved.
Second. Discussion. All in favor? Aye.
Next, request appropriations not to exceed $3,500 for 14 50-foot sections of 1 3/4 fire hose with couplings from Fire Safety Services. We did not get the grants for fire hose that we applied for the last 2 years, so we're gonna slowly start doing this. We looked at a bunch of different hose manufacturers. It went down from friction loss to nozzle reaction, how much nozzle is in there. This was the middle of the road hose that we really liked because it laid really flat in the hose bed. It had the least amount of nozzle reaction and it had the least amount of whip. The 2 other companies were almost double pricing on this. because it's big brand name hose that's used in big cities around the world, so.
So moved.
Second, discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Request appropriation for $130 for a flow testing of our Scott's rip pack that we have through MES.
So moved.
Second, discussion?
Can you just refresh my memory on this one, please?
This is our rapid intervention air pack. If a firefighter goes down, we drag this in there. So they come out and they do the maintenance on the bottle and the regulator system and the mask on that pack.
Thank you.
Yep.
All in favor?
Aye.
Request to approve a donation of a gas powered positive pressure fan that has no value to the fire department due to its age to the Medina County Career Center Fire Training Program. This fan has been out of service, sitting in storage since about 2019. And I know the fan was there before I got hired on the fire department, so it's well over 26 years old. Small engines at the Career Center is going to have to do a tune-up on it to get it to work. But the career program or the fire program does not have any fans to use.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Next is request to list engine 31-2 on Gov Deals with a reserve starting price of $75,000 from December 1 to December 15. Engine 31-2 is a 2005 KME Predator fire apparatus. VIN number is 1K9AF42836N058054. Has about 13,000 miles on it. We had the LED light system replaced a couple years ago. It passed its pump test. We have all the records on it. The ladders that came with it are going on it, are being sold with it. So we think it's good price. I've been looking through Gov Deals and some used fire apparatus websites, and it seems like it's a good starting place. I've seen trucks that have more miles go for a lot more than that, so I'm hoping there's a bidding war. As if anybody remembers, when we had listed the last one, we listed it for like, I think like $8,000 or $10,000, and it went up to like 25,000 the last day. So, or right around there. So we think this'll, we should get some good money for it. We're hoping.
Well, I appreciate you doing the research on that and knowing where to start it off at. So moved.
Resolution. Could you make that resolution?
Resolution.
Second.
Second, discussion? Call the roll.
Sweattick?
Yes.
Asher?
Yes.
Yes.
Request to move firefighter EMT Stephen Tunick and Joseph Zywick to their full pay of $16.54 per the organizational minutes.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Just let everybody know, November 18th, 19th, we'll be doing our live burn on Center Road. Weather permitting still, we started getting prep work done. Home Depot donated some plywood to us today. I have another instructor coming in on Friday to help do some prep work. We'll post some stuff online. The cemetery, we reached out, they will be allowing parking. The big cemetery will allow parking just as long as there's paths that, you know, visitors to the cemetery can get in. And then it's on the south side of the road.
We had a good audience for the last one.
Yeah, we did.
So.
Yeah,
And good weather.
yeah. I've been trying to watch the long-term outlook, trying to figure out if we're gonna have good weather or not. Fingers crossed, it's looking like it. Next is blood drive here, November 18th. We're at in the old base. Our annual boot drive for the seniors and families of Hinckley is November 25th, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. in the center of town, as we always do. Our annual Santa Parade will take place Sunday, December 17th, 10 a.m. till 3 p.m. We'll be posting the map on social media with our Santa Parade, our trailer we made and the trucks and everything else going through the township. It was fourth year, I think, third or fourth year. So it should be a good time. And last but not least, request to move firefighter EMT Andy Toth to the chief engineer position at an hourly rate of $18.80 per the organizational minutes. A little bit about Andy Toth. He's been with our fire department for almost 10 years. He's in medic school. He finishes medic school mid-December. He is a Class A CDL driver. He owns his own landscape company, so he has small engine and repairability. And he was the only one that put it out to the department. He was the only one that had interest in it. So I'd like to move him to that position.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Hi.
Aye.
You tore through that pretty quick.
I did. It was just a lot of announcement. That's what it was.
Thank you, Chief.
Zoning.
We already tackled the cul-de-sac discussion, so just wanted to give everyone, the board of trustees a heads up that we have devised a new internal system with all of the department heads, and we get a scope of work that's coming to the planning commission. I've created a document that will go to police, fire, and service for them to review and type in their comments, and then Suzanne will then put those comments in for the planning commission, just so that we keep everything organized and work collaboratively. So just a heads up on that. And that's all I have for zoning.
Cemetery.
Cemetery, we have some deeds here. Do I have two witnesses from the audience?
Jeff's here, isn't he? I thought I saw him.
See, now we nominate you. That's how it works. And can I get one more witness?
Need a pen? Now Jeff brings his on.
I actually was asked you for that. I didn't know if I had one.
I actually have two today, and I normally have to steal one from Suzanne.
You gentlemen. Yes, that's it. Thank you so much. All right, and then just a quick update for the trustees. Suzanne and I have been working to obtain quotes on the shale roof at the Maple Hill Holding House. Doesn't look promising. We thought we might be able to just go in and repair this roof, but because the shale is so old, it's extremely fragile, and we might have to do a completely new shale roof. Before we explore that option, I wanted to see if the trustees felt that shale would be the best suited for this endeavor. Obviously, it would coincide with the historic nature of the building, but it may be more costly.
There's, if you and Suzanne are looking into it, I believe there is now, what is the word? It's not composite, but they make, like a slate. It's not actual slate. But it's
Manufactured.
like,
Manufactured.
right. It's supposed to have like a 50-year warranty, something like that, because we looked at that for my house. So maybe look into that so that it still looks that way, but maybe not as costly.
Okay.
If you don't mind looking into that.
Mr. Sweattick, are you in agreement?
Yes.
Perfect. I will let Suzanne know. We will work collectively on it. Thank you. That's all I have for cemeteries.
Okay, we'll move into the trustee section. The first is the annexation appeal discussion. The appeal was denied by the courts. And at this point, I personally don't see anything that would benefit us moving forward. We've already invested $30,000 in the effort. It seems pretty clear cut that attempting to do an appeal to further it would not be successful in my mind.
I see both sides of this. I see how how quickly this was dismissed. by Judge Hudson. Which I was under the impression from our attorney that this would take us into 2024 with this appeal process. But I also feel that, you know, we started this appeal based on the fact that he had won an appeal with Eaton Township, I believe it was, based on the same argument that we have, and that was with the Ninth Court, which that would be the next step that we would go to if we were to appeal this again. And I just wonder, I don't have my looking glass, you know, my crystal ball, so I'm not sure how it would turn out, but it just makes me wonder, we would go before the same court that he already went to, presented this exact same arguments and won. I just feel like we've come this far. This is literally the final step in the process. If it's denied, then there's nowhere else to go from this point, but we've come this far.
Trustee Augustine?
I appreciate your work on it, Jack, and meeting that mediation. I think that in order for me to have a sound decision as to how we move forward, I really would like to meet with counsel one more time to see what he thought of the mediation hearings and meetings, and see if what he feels are best steps moving forward. Because to Trustee Asherle's point, we thought this was an endeavor that would go into next year and facilitated funding for that.
Is that what you would like to do, Money?
Honestly, he's a salesman, right? Like, he's got to do a job. So I feel like if he comes here and meets us and, you know, bills us for the hours, he's going to say, yeah, of course you have a chance. So I would like to proceed with it, but I think that, I don't know that that's really worth the time for him to come out here, because I think that was what he had said to us when we initially talked about appealing this the first time. It was that his Eaton Township was based on the same argument. So just in the interest of saving a little bit of money and some time, I would say, I don't necessarily know that it's worth meeting with him.
I'm just thinking that he was in some of the meetings that we weren't in, and might be able to offer another perspective that we would not be aware of.
Martha?
And I think it's incumbent on you to meet with him, because you're gonna have to get an idea what his estimated costs are going to be for pursuing this. You guys still have 2 months of bills that have invoices that we haven't been invoiced for. And you also have court costs of the current appeal. So I think you need to go into it and weigh the cost benefits of pursuing this, and you need to get potential costs for it. And then you know, the board and myself will have to sit down and find out where that might come from.
Make an educated decision.
Okay.
And you don't necessarily have to meet with him to do that, but you need to get that information from him somewhere.
Okay. I feel like you've had more contact with him recently than anyone else. Are you comfortable reaching out to him with this, or would you like me to?
Yeah, I can contact him and we'll set something up. All right, next is, are we done there? Anything else?
Nothing more.
25 River Road discussion.
Code. See, thanks for being here.
I spoke with the son-in-law about a week ago, who was cleaning up the property, and he's kind of throwing his hands up in the air. He said, Monique, I worked on it for 11 days. I removed truckloads and truckloads of scrap, and he said it doesn't even make a dent with it. He was getting ready to remove some of the vehicles, and his father-in-law said, no, not ready to do it yet, you know, and he's been kind of pushing him off. And he said at this point, he's just thrown his hands up in the air. I contacted the homeowner, but no phone calls have been returned. So I would say we have to proceed.
Well, and I mean, the prosecutor had been very specific with us that any conversations or communication needs to happen through the zoning office so that it can be documented. So if you can give that information to Tom so he can put it in his system, because he's documenting all of those communications. That way we just have a record of it.
When did the prosecutor, I'm more than happy to send you the messages that I have, but I don't recall the prosecutor sending me anything.
No, that was something that she told me that I had referenced in one of our meetings, that all communication is supposed to happen through the zoning office. Just so we can have transparency and a clear, concise path of the communication. So if there is some type of legal recourse on his end, we have a way to protect ourselves.
I'm more than happy to send you the text messages, Tom.
Thank you. And
email that you talked to them.
It's been primarily through text that we've been, so I can give you screenshots of the text messages.
Trustee Sweattick, how do you feel about moving forward with 25 River Road?
Well, first, if you want to do that, we have to contract with a salvage company. And I'm assuming the salvage company is going to have to get a look at the property to make, did they go in all the way in when they went? Did they? And they've given us a cost estimate and a contract?
Not a contract, but a cost estimate, and the next step will probably be then a contract.
So I think that's what's going to happen first.
So then, what avenue do I take from that? Martha, or with you guys, and I'm not sure.
If you can get us a contract, I can make a
A
motion to
contract.
move forward on it, or a new estimate that has a more recent date on it, we can move forward with it. If they don't do contracts, we can just use an estimate and move forward.
Then there'll be a motion to hire, and once that's done, then we'll take care of signing the salvage titles, but not before that's in place.
Those salvage titles can be done separately, right? Or is that company removing all those vehicles?
That was part of the deal. He was gonna
They're gonna
salvage
start
them.
removing a vehicle, so
Yeah.
I completed all the salvage affidavits for the salvage title. Martha should have them.
Yeah, and that's what, I mean, but they can't remove anything until you actually hire
The
a company.
contract.
Yeah, that was the,
That's
so
fine.
as soon as you guys hire a company, then all the salvage titles will be released and to the salvage company, and then it will move forward.
Perfect.
Any further discussion there?
So the earliest you guys can do that would be the next meeting then.
Right, correct.
Is there anything time sensitive on those salvage titles, Tom?
Basically, I spoke with the salvage company, Blackbird Auto Salvage, and he's kind of looking at his schedule to find out, when he can go in there to do it.
But he
Well, I
hasn't
think
hired
it's-
yet, so that's the kind of roadblock here.
Yeah, I don't think there's any
Okay,
time.
and are you guys going to need any security?
Well, yeah, we're gonna probably need assistance from the Hinckley Police Department.
That's gonna cost.
Well,
It's
that's,
not gonna, the contractor is going to have to reach out to us,
okay.
because I don't have the staffing just to put people up there.
Yeah, I understand that.
That's not gonna be a cheap endeavor.
Well, at the last trustee meeting, which I attended, we were supposed to discuss the police
Right.
presence there,
As to what that looks like, if it's
the cost of it.
it's just
so,
the first day, or if it's the whole process.
Yeah,
And so that is a decision this board will have to make. As it pertains.
I would think the contractor would have to have a discussion with you to determine what time frame he's talking about in order for you to provide anybody.
So
Well, and one of the things that Tom and I have discussed is that the contractor has probably dealt with similar situations and may have a company as well. Or have the ability to handle certain situations.
Well, yeah, he's like subcontracting out, well, providing dumpsters on property.
Right.
Getting access to the back end of the property. Which was another concern too, because the salvage company owner, he was a little concerned with trying to gain access to the back of the property because property owners, present licensed vehicle is obstructing the drive to gain access to the back of the property, so he wanted to know if he could legally move that vehicle. So I basically reached out to Heidi Carroll this morning to find out, you know, what the legal repercussions would be
Okay.
about moving that. She said she'll get back to me on that. She has to do a little research on
Okay,
actually, you know, moving someone's vehicle.
right. Makes sense. Well, thank you for your work on it. It's been a learning process. I don't think we've ever had one like this before.
Trustee Augustine.
I just wanted to make the board aware that I did provide virtual testimony to support the repeal of the Ohio Revised Code 5501.160. That was on my agenda at the last meeting, and I apologize I wasn't able to make it, so just wanted to let you know. Ohio Hometimes Hero, the update on that is that the chamber is willing to help us facilitate that. My current conversations are with Ohio Edison as to where this exactly would take place, because if you drive down Ridge Road, the poles actually get further away from the road. And so we want to make sure that it's a place that it can be seen, so it'll probably be closer to town center. So I'm working with Ohio Edison on that.
One thing about it, are you guys gonna charge for those?
Yes,
Then you're gonna have to figure.
through the
out structure.
chamber.
Okay, so nothing will go through the township?
No.
Okay, thank you.
Hinckley Elementary meeting discussion, we just had that discussion. We want to do an abbreviated meeting that morning and then have another meeting that night? Because typically it's just taken over the meeting for the day.
We talked about that. I would prefer to do, as Trustee Asherle had said, something abbreviated that might be more attuned to those kids being there instead of boring them to death like we do to all these people. So.
They look very interested, actually, especially that guy back there in the blue shirt.
Okay. We all look at for former trustees Rhodes and Schulte, Jack, I had this on my agenda before you responded. You said you won't know till what date for November 19th?
Till the end of next week.
I want to make sure I give them enough time to have it available for their families. Is there another day that works better?
A weekday is better. The weekends are tough.
A weekday during the evening?
That'd be fine.
Would you guys propose,
It's gonna be so dark, though. If we do something in the evening.
that's what I'm thinking too, now that it's dark at 5 o'clock. Not that far away.
If you want to plan it for the 19th, and if I can be there, I will.
Is noon still a good time? If we do the 19th?
Noon works for me. That day and that time worked for me, so I mean, I think you were joking, but I mean, we could do it like Black Friday.
I'm not joking.
I mean-
Great
Well, then project when you are giving these ideas.
idea. People are off of work, I mean, that one at a time, you know what I
Just
mean?
people might be traveling, that's
People
all.
might be traveling, yep.
Might be
in town
shopping.
As well.
They might be.
Right, they
Might be
in town as
shopping,
well.
but I mean, generally they're home by 11 o'clock in the morning from those Black Friday shopping
it's
trips,
incredible.
right? I mean, would you want to do something like the
think that-
24th at like 2 or
Well, I'm just
3?
thinking that even, Ray's widow works for the county, she's probably not gonna be off on the 24th, she's probably gonna be working.
That, if that works for both of you, just go on and set it.
Okay.
It's fine, okay, perfect, thank you, I will contact the families. All right, and then the last two things, I got a request from some people who have said that the girls softball fields at Kovac need some work, and so I just wanted to make the board aware for future endeavors at Kovac, that maybe that would be a field that we might want to put a little bit of money into. And
Didn't we agree that we were doing all 3 fields? Wasn't Rob going to? we were
Rod's
gonna
doing the
do
third
2,
Yeah.
And Rod's gonna do the 3rd one, so that's all of the fields.
so what are they
At Kovac.
doing?
They're doing
The-
complete conditioning.
Okay. And then lastly, I just wanted to see if we have a proctor schedule. I think it's kind of gone by the wayside, and I text Jackson every time we have a meeting, are you proctoring? And sometimes I get a response, and sometimes I don't. So I'm just wondering if we can just kind of give me a heads up if there's a BZA meeting or a zoning commission meeting that we don't have a proctor, so I know to be.
Yes, it has gone by the wayside because we only have 1 proctor right now. And I had sent an email to, I believe, both of you and Suzanne and Lynn a couple months ago. When Jackson got his new job, he can no longer do Thursdays. So Thursdays are out. I did reach out to Lisa, who took a leave of absence from it. And I just asked her if that was something that she wanted to come back to, or if this is something we should look at maybe hiring a second proctor. And she said, I think she told me she should have an answer December 5th, whether or not she will be coming back. So if I would prefer to just hang tight for another month.
Okay.
If you're both okay with that. I mean, when it comes to zoning meetings and BZA meetings, I'm more than happy to proctor.
Yeah, I have no problem either. I just need a heads up so that I'm ready to log in instead of wondering. Perfect, that's all I have.
Did were you planning on doing executive session?
No, I thought Jack was.
Okay, a reminder, the holiday light contest, everybody's going to decorate their home for Christmas and submit photos to the township, high resolution photos to be featured on our website. You can submit those, I should have written down the dates. You can submit those to the township, I believe, until November 27th, and the children at Hinckley Elementary School will be voting on the winner on December 1st. Just so you both are aware, I had asked Lynn if she would add this to the website as under the banner, just to remind people, submit your photos to us, high resolution.
Perfect.
Wanted to mention it again because our ad was kind of forgettable that
I did see it.
we had.
I saw on the website.
Kind of blended in. And then the Kimball rate reminder, all opt-out spots have been completely filled. They were filled within the first day. So just a reminder to you all that beginning February of next year, the new rates for the contract will be $69.99 a quarter plus $3.85 for the fuel surcharge, for a total cost of $73.84 a quarter for the unlimited trash and recycling. And then $22.83 a quarter plus $3.85 for the fuel surcharge for the bag service, which would be $26.68 a quarter plus the cost of bags. And then a reminder that the Hinckley Holiday Market will be at Valley Air on Saturday, November 18th at 9 a.m. And all proceeds from the bake sale and the basket raffles will be going to the Hinckley Police Association.
Very good.
All that add to it, looks good.
Thank you.
The employee manual is still with the prosecutor's office. He says the final review should be completed before our next meeting. So it should be done by then. And although I thought it was a good idea to take the drug and alcohol policy out, he's recommending putting it back in. So I'm just going to take all that information and insert it back in there, because it's applicable only to the non-union folks is what. So, but none of the content will change. It'll just be moved back into the manual. And I'll have that for you. Should have that for you for the next meeting for us to vote on.
Okay. Only 2 years later.
Yeah.
That was like the first thing. That was the first thing that was given to me 2 years ago. So.
The Cleveland Guardians have a ball field improvement grant. Thanks to Martha and Monique for forwarding those the information on it from a couple of the residents here. Judy and what was the other one? Okay. And Ra is applying for that. And they asked me to draft a letter of support for them, which you should have a copy of there. And I asked the board to join me in signing that, if that's acceptable. And I will get this to him to submit with their grant application. Basically, it says they're good people. Yes, sir.
What's in it for the Guardians?
It's promoting youth sports. So they're every relative to baseball and softball and the ball fields themselves. They look to get people interested in it. And if kids are interested in baseball, they want to go see games, you know, so.
Okay.
But it's a charitable organization. It's the Cleveland Guardians Charities, it's called.
Okay.
And they do a lot, they spend a lot of money doing that throughout the area.
Thank you.
Sure. Township property landscaping treatment. We're currently with True Green. I just want to let the board know that they reached out, and the renewal goes up like 4%. And if we would we ever pay in full, Martha? Prepay? There's a 3% discount. Not worth it? Okay. So that'll be coming due in the spring then. Well, since we're going to wait on it. The donated property sign for Mr. Gibson's property. I did not get the quotes back from either company yet. And but I should have something on the steel sign relatively quickly now. And I also spoke with Service Department. They have the ability to create the frame for it, obtain the post, and do the install. So it would be at a greatly reduced cost versus the ones that we were looking at commercially. And I think it'll still be a quality sign. And last, I would, after we are done, I will move to go into executive session to discuss employee compensation.
Which employee?
The police contract.
Melissa, did you want to second that? I will abstain.
Yes, second.
All in favor? Aye.
No, abstain. Sorry, not no.
I was gonna say,
No,
we just-
abstain.
We just make the motion to go into executive session at the time that we do it.
We said at the end, so it's okay. Anything else from the board? Anybody from the public? Yes, sir.
Good evening, guys. My name is Ruben. I'm with Congressman Max Miller's office. We've been hitting our Medina Township trustee meetings the back half this year, and we just come around and get a constituent resource guide. Just gives our phone number and things that we can do to help you guys if you have any trouble with federal government, passport, social security, things of that nature. I can go ahead and pass around if you guys like. Thank you for your time. Thank you.
Well, speaking of Max Miller, and I forgot to mention it, he's hosting a live telephone town hall with special guest Bob France for constituents in Ohio's 7th Congressional District at 6 p.m. on Wednesday, November 8th, which is tomorrow. So from his email, participants will be able to ask questions, provide feedback through interactive poll questions, and hear from Congressman Miller on issues important to them. Anyone interested in registering for the telephone town hall can do so by visiting Congressman Miller's website at maxmiller.house.gov/event-RSVP, or call the Congressman's office at 202-225-3876, or by dialing into the town hall at 6 p.m. at 877-229-8493, PIN number 122256.
Ruben, I think you should fire him.
So, and I spoke with them direct, that's why I wanted to mention it, because I spoke with them directly. He said anybody's welcome to join that. If you have time to do it, I think it'd probably be worthwhile to see and hear some of the things he's doing. Anybody else from the public? Okay, we will go into executive session at 7:22 p.m.
Take a roll. I don't know.
Yeah, second.
Move to go into executive session. Okay, call the roll, please. Yes.
Abstain.
Yeah.
What's that?
The door of my office, everything's open in my office.
I think we're just gonna walk out here. They just have to-
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not busy.
All right, move to come out of executive session at 7:23.
Second.
Second, call the roll.
Sweattick?
Yes.
Asher?
Abstain.
August?
Yes. I'm just wondering if we need to do a second executive session.
Did you return from that one?
We did. With a decision, yes. We decided
Well,
to advise council to proceed with the contract.
okay, thank you.
I'm sorry. Yes.
You're almost there.
All right, I'd like to make a motion to go out into executive session to discuss discipline of a public employee at 7:24 p.m.
Second,
Sweattick?
yes.
Asher?
Yes.
August?
Yes.
You wanna hit mute?
We thought it had been private at the time, so.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, I hope you didn't say anything bad, because I don't know if it was muted.
At this point, I'd like to make a motion to adjourn out of executive session at 7:38 PM. With no decision made.
Second,
Call the roll, please.
Swedek?
Yes,
yeah.
Yes.
nothing else for the good of the order. Move to adjourn at 7:38 PM. All in favor? Aye.
Aye. Stop. Stop recording.
Here.